Hey there fellow coin hunters, treasure seekers and couch potato collectors, welcome back to the channel where pocket change could turn into paradise. Today we're talking about a penny. Yes, you heard that right, one single copper coin from 1949 with no mint mark that could be worth a jaw-dropping $11 million. That's more than some folks make in a lifetime, and definitely more than what I spent on pizza last month, which is saying a lot now. Before you roll your eyes and toss your change jar out the window, hold up, because this little unassuming Lincoln penny from 1949 might just be your golden ticket to a better life, or at least a really cool vacation and maybe a new couch too. Alright, let's jump in and find out what makes this humble penny so dang valuable, why it could be hiding in your piggy bank right now, and what you should do if you find one. Stick around to the end, because I'm also sharing a personal story about how I almost spent a rare penny on a gas station burrito that was a close one. So let's rewind to 1949, a year when the world was recovering from World War II. Harry Truman was president and nobody had smartphones. People actually talked to each other in person. Imagine that year the United States Mint produced Lincoln pennies without a mint mark in Philadelphia, which was the standard practice back then. They minted a ton of them, over 217 million to be exact. So you're probably wondering, wait a minute, if there were millions made, how is one worth over $1 million? Here's what makes the 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth up to $11 million. And no, I'm not pulling your leg, although that would be pretty funny. First, let's talk about condition. In the coin world, we call it grade. The higher the grade, the shinier the coin, and the bigger the payday. We're talking about coins that have never been circulated. They look brand new, like they just rolled off the mint press yesterday. If your 1949 penny has zero scratches, zero wear, and looks like it's been living in a time capsule, you might be onto something. Next is rarity and errors. Oh yes, the sweet errors. We're not talking about the kind of errors you make when you text your ex. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks. Even though this one has no mint mark, die cracks and planchet errors. These are the little mistakes that make collectors go bananas. Now here's the twist: the 1949 no mint mark penny that sold for over $1 million had not only a pristine condition but a rare die variety. It had a double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin had a slight doubling in Lincoln's features, and the lettering, it was so subtle you'd probably miss it unless you were squinting at it with a magnifying glass under a flashlight in your grandma's basement. The buyer who picked it up at auction was a hardcore collector with deep pockets and a love for historical artifacts, and when the hammer dropped at $11 million, you better believe jaws dropped with it, including mine. I nearly fell out of my desk chair. Now let's talk strategy, because let's be real, we're all here because we want to find coins worth money, not just hoard piles of copper like modern day dragons. So here's what you do: go grab that jar of change right now. Yes, I mean it. I'll wait. Got it? Good. Now dump it out and start looking for that 1949 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Focus on the color, a true copper tone, no rust, no green goo. Check the date, check for sharp details, and if anything looks weird or off center, don't toss it. That could be your ticket to millionaire status. Oh, and here's that personal story I promised. So a few years ago I was driving across the country. I stopped at this tiny gas station in the middle of nowhere. It was one of those places with flickering lights and a mysterious guy behind the counter who looked like he hadn't blinked in years. I bought a soda and a microwave burrito, and when I reached into my pocket I pulled out an old penny. It looked clean, weirdly shiny, and had 1949 on it, but I didn't think twice. I handed it over, paid for my burrito, and left. 3 years later I learned about the $1 million 1949 no mint mark penny, and let me tell you, I've had dreams where that burrito turns into a golden nugget and mocks me while dancing across my dashboard. I still think about that coin and the crunch sound of that microwave burrito. I could have been rich, so don't be like me. Don't spend your treasure on sketchy gas station food. Check your coins, I mean it. Check your change. Check your wallet, check under the couch cushions, check your grandpa's coin jar that he's been hiding since the 70s. You never know what's sitting right under your nose. And when it comes to selling a valuable penny like this, don't just go to your local pawn shop or post it on Craigslist. You want to go through certified coin dealers or reputable auction houses. That's where the big money lies. That's where collectors fight for your coin like it's the last slice of pizza at a party. So let's wrap it up. We've covered the history, the rarity, the condition, the strategy, and even a gas station tragedy, all for a 1949 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that could be worth a cool $11 million. You might not think a penny could change your life, but hey, it changed someone else's, and it could change yours too. Hit that subscribe button if you love the idea of making big money from small coins. Smash that like button if you've ever found something weird in your pocket change, and drop a comment telling me the oldest coin you've ever found. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, especially that one friend who hoards change like a raccoon with shiny objects. I've got plenty more videos coming your way all about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and ways to turn pocket change into paychecks. So stick around and let's hunt for treasure together. Hey coin fam, welcome back to the channel where we talk all things small, round, and shockingly valuable. Now let me ask you a question: have you ever found a penny and just tossed it in a jar, or maybe even in your car cup holder, thinking it's just a penny? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into a tiny copper coin that might just pay for your house, your car, and your dream vacation all in one swipe. I'm talking about the 1960 mint mark Lincoln penny. Yep, the one that could be hiding in your pocket change right now and is sold for as much as $1.2 million. No, that's not a typo, a million with an M. Now, before you go flipping over your couch cushion, stick with me because I'm gonna break down why this coin is worth so much, what makes it special, and how you can spot one. I've even got a funny story about the time I thought I found one. Spoiler alert, it didn't go quite as planned. Let's kick things off with the basics. The 1960 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d under the date. It's part of the Lincoln Memorial series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. Now, what makes this coin so special isn't just that it's old, it's all about the details. First, let's talk about the small date versus large date drama. Yes, we're getting spicy in the world of pennies. So in 1960, the US Mint actually produced two different styles of dates on these pennies. One is called the small date and the other is the large date, and it turns out the small date from Denver is the rare one. The one everyone and their grandma is hunting for. The small date has a thinner, more compact look, especially the number 0. It's a little more snug and closer to the 6, whereas the large date has a more open feel. Think of it like the small date being the skinny jeans of pennies and the large date being the baggy cargo pants. Now here's where it gets good. There are a few examples of the 1960 D small date penny that are in pristine condition. I'm talking shiny, flawless, not a fingerprint or scratch in sight. These are what collectors drool over, the kind of coins that get slapped in plastic holders and admired like fine art. And when one of those rare beauties shows up at auction, oh baby, the bidding war begins. One such penny sold for $1.2 million. That's right, someone paid over $1 million for a penny. Let that sink in. I've seen people argue over 50 cents at a garage sale, and here we've got someone dropping $1 million on a 1-cent coin. Wild, right? Now let's break it down further so you can understand what to look for. First up, check the date. If the numbers look thinner and closer together, especially the 0, then you might be onto something. Next, check the mint mark, that little d below the date. That's how you know it came from the Denver Mint, which is key. But wait, there's more. Some of these pennies have doubling, which means the image or text looks like it's been stamped twice, slightly off center. This is called a double die. And if you've got a 1960 D small date with doubling, you just hit the coin collector's jackpot. Okay, story time. I once thought I found the holy grail of pennies. I was at my grandma's house going through an old jar of coins, you know, the ones that haven't been touched since Clinton was in office. I spotted a 1960 penny with a D on it. My heart was pounding. I grabbed my magnifying glass. I'm sweating, my palms are clammy. I call my buddy who's a coin nerd and I'm like, dude, I think I found the $1 million penny. He comes over, we're looking at it like two detectives at a crime scene. Then he goes, wait, that's the large date. Cue the sad trombone sound, womp womp. Still, I kept it and I use it as a good luck charm whenever I go coin hunting. It reminds me that the search is half the fun, and sometimes the journey is worth more than the coin, unless of course the coin is worth $1 million. Then the coin is totally worth more. So how can you tell if your penny is the real deal? Well, first thing you'll want to do is compare it with online images of the small and large date versions. You can find side-by-side photos that make it super easy to spot the difference. Second, get yourself a good magnifying glass. You don't have to go full Sherlock Holmes, but something to help you see the tiny details really helps. Third, if you're still not sure, take it to a professional coin dealer or get it graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. These folks know what they're doing and they can tell you if you've got a penny or a payday. Another fun fact, the 1960 D penny was also part of a year when coin collecting was exploding in popularity. People were hoarding coins like crazy, especially rolls of pennies straight from the bank, hoping they'd find something rare. A lot of these got stashed away untouched for decades, so yes, there are still potentially valuable ones sitting in basements, attics, and coin jars across America. One guy even found his in an old box of junk he bought at a yard sale for $5. Can you imagine flipping a $5 box into $1 million coin? That's better than winning the lottery. Well, maybe not quite as much confetti, but still pretty sweet. Let's talk market value now. Condition is everything. In 1960 D small date in regular circulated condition might only get you a few bucks, but if it's uncirculated or graded MS65 or higher, then we're talking serious money. MS65 means it's in mint state, grade 65, which is near perfect. Think of it like getting a 95 out of 100 on a test, and yes, people are willing to pay thousands, even tens of thousands for coins in that condition. But that holy grail, the one that brought in $1.2 million, that was graded proof-like and pristine, it looked like it just rolled off the press and into a vault. So while your everyday penny might not fetch that kind of cash, it still might be worth more than you think. Alright, my coin curious friends, here's the takeaway. The 1960 D Lincoln penny might be one of the most underrated coins out there, and if you've got one, especially a small date in great condition, you could be sitting on a mini fortune. So next time you're digging in your change jar or getting a handful of coins back at the grocery store, don't just shrug and toss it in your car cup holder. Take a look. That little copper coin might just be your ticket to an early retirement. And if you're like me and love the thrill of the hunt, keep digging. The fun's in the journey, and who knows, maybe you'll find your $1 million penny story to tell. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, tricks, and treasure hunts. We've got more videos coming up about coins that are worth way more than face value and how you can spot them. Hey there, fellow coin hunters and pocket change detectives. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and thought, well, this'll get me nowhere? Hold up. That dusty little coin might just be your ticket to a luxury vacation, or even early retirement. Today, we're diving into the jaw-dropping story of the 1987 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently worth $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A penny. 1 cent worth over $1 million. This is not a drill.so grab your change jar, check under the couch cushions, and maybe, just maybe, you're sitting on a hidden fortune and don't even know it yet. But before we go coin crazy, let me share a quick story. A few months ago, I was at my aunt's house helping her clean out an old junk drawer, you know the kind, full of random screws, expired coupons, and batteries that may or may not be dead. I found a handful of old pennies and, out of pure curiosity, started flipping through them. One of them looked different. No mint mark. 1987, my heart jumped. Could it be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But that little adrenaline rush sparked my obsession with rare coins, and now here we are, going down the penny rabbit hole together. Well, let's break it down. Most Lincoln pennies minted in 1987 came from the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. And normally, Philly doesn't put a mint mark on pennies, which is why this gets confusing. But what makes this specific 1987 no-mint mark penny worth $1.3 million is a bizarre combo of minting error, rarity, and condition. That's right. This isn't just any no-mint mark penny. It's a 1 in a million, or maybe even 1 in a billion, mistake that got past the folks at the US Mint. Second, and most importantly, the $1 million version has some unique features. Most notably, it was mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc planchet. You can actually feel the difference if you're holding it. Bronze pennies are a bit heavier. Some experts believe only a few of these were made, possibly even just one. That's why collectors go nuts over it. It's the holy grail of 80s pennies. First, look at the weight. A normal 1987 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. But the rare bronze one tips the scale at 3.1 grams. It's a small difference, but in the coin world, it's huge. And next, check the color. The bronze coin has a richer, darker tone, almost like chocolate. Yum. Don't eat it, though. Finally, if you really think you've got something special, take it to a coin dealer or send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can verify if you've struck gold or just found another penny that bought you nothing but a few seconds of hope. Rarity is king in the coin world. If there's only one or two of a kind, collectors will throw down serious cash to get their hands on it. Add in a historical figure like Lincoln, a quirky minting error, and pristine condition, and boom, you've got $1 million coin on your hands. There was an auction where one of these sold for $1.3 million. Just imagine someone out there paid more for a penny than most people pay for their house. While you're searching for that sweet 1987 no-mint mark penny, keep an eye out for other valuable coins. For example, it's like a scavenger hunt where the prize is a small piece of metal that could change your life. And the best part? You don't need a metal detector or an Indiana Jones hat, just a pair of eyes and some curiosity. Minting mistakes are often behind the biggest coin jackpots. Whether it's a die crack, an off-center strike, or the wrong metal, collectors love a good goof. The 1987 no-mint mark bronze penny is the ultimate happy accident. It's like when you add too much chocolate to a recipe and accidentally invent the best cookie of your life. Okay, time for some humble pie. Once, I found a 1983 penny with no mint mark and freaked out. I was dancing around the house, shouting, "I'm rich!" My cat was judging me. I posted a pic online, and within 5 minutes, someone replied, "Dude, it's totally normal. Worth 1 cent. But hey, now I know more, and so do you. Knowledge is power. And sometimes power is worth $1.30 million. That little 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in your pocket change could be hiding a giant secret. If you've got one that weighs a bit more and looks bronze-y, you might want to stop everything you're doing and get it checked out. Because that penny could be worth $1.3 million. Just imagine telling your friends you got rich off a penny. The same coin they left in the car cup holder or tossed in a fountain for luck. Talk about full circle. Go raid your piggy banks, go through grandma's coin jar, and start looking. Because the next coin story could be yours. And if you want more awesome stories about coins that are worth way more than they should be, tips on how to find them, and a little humor along the way, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a golden opportunity. Hey coin fam, welcome back to the channel where small change can turn into big bucks faster than your grandma can say back in my day. Now listen up, because today we're diving into a story that's going to make you check your pockets, couch cushions, old piggy banks, and maybe even your car's cup holder. You might be walking around with a plain old 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, thinking yeah whatever, it's just a cent, right? That little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping, bank-breaking, heart racing $1.4 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single cent could buy you a house, a Tesla, and still leave enough cash for tacos every Tuesday for the rest of your life. So stick around, because I'm going to tell you what makes this ordinary looking penny an absolute goldmine, how to know if you've got one, and a little story about the time I almost threw away what could have been my early retirement. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about this mysterious 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is a mint mark? Basically, a mint mark is a little letter stamped on coins that tells you where they were made. P is for Philadelphia, D is for Denver, S is for San Francisco, but sometimes, especially on coins from Philly, there's no mark at all. So when you find a penny with Lincoln's stern little face staring off into the distance and no mint mark, that just means it was minted in Philadelphia. Most 2016 no mint mark pennies are totally normal, worth 1 cent. Give or take the lint in your pocket, but a few of them were struck with errors. And when we say errors in the coin world, that's not a bad thing. That's like finding a typo in a first edition Harry Potter book. You've just hit the collector's jackpot. We're talking double dies, off center strikes, extreme clashing, smooth edges that should be ridged, coins struck on the wrong planchet, even a mysterious coppery color when it was supposed to be zinc. And let me tell you, these aren't easy to spot unless you really know what you're looking for, or unless you have eyes like an eagle who's also a coin nerd. These rare errors in the 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny have shown up in auctions and private sales, fetching prices as high as $1.4 million. And don't worry, you don't need to be some Wall Street genius or a numismatist. Yes, that's a real word to get in on this. So a while back I was helping my niece with her school project on Abraham Lincoln, because you know she thinks Uncle Coin Guy is cool and knows stuff. We're flipping through her folder and she's got a penny glued onto the cover of her little homemade booklet, and I'm like, wait, hold up, let me take a closer look. Wouldn't you know it, it's a 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Now my eyes did that cartoon pop out thing. You know, I gently peeled it off the cover, praying to the coin god she used weak glue, and gave it a look under my magnifier. Unfortunately, hers was just a regular ROLL penny, but the moment gave me chills, because what if that day I learned 2 things. 1, always check your coins. 2, kids use glue like it's the last sticky substance on earth. If you've got a 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, here's what to look for. Number 1, flip that sucker around, check both sides. Number 2, grab a magnifying glass and look for doubling on the date and the letters like Liberty and In God We Trust. Number 3, check the color. Copper pennies in 2016 are rare since most are zinc. Number 4, feel the edges. Are they smooth, funky, misaligned? And Number 5, if it looks weird and you're unsure, get it checked by a pro. Send it in to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Yeah, they cost a little money, but if your penny is worth over $1 million, I think you'll survive the investment. Oh, and don't clean your coins. Never clean your coins. It lowers the value faster than a popped balloon. Next time you get change back at the store or you're digging through your car for gas money, check those pennies, especially the 2016 no mint mark ones, because that tiny round piece of copper might just be the treasure you didn't know you had. I mean, wouldn't it be wild if your future beach house is just sitting in your pocket right now? Now, if you enjoyed this video, had a laugh, or maybe even learned something cool, smash that like button, tap that subscribe, and turn on notifications, because I've got more coin treasure hunting tips coming your way. We're talking nickels, dimes, quarters, and yes, even those weird state ones with birds on them. Hey coin crew, welcome back to the channel where your pocket change might just be your retirement plan. I'm not even joking. Today we're diving into a penny, a tiny little copper beauty from 1993 with a D mint mark that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard me right, $1.6 million for a penny. Now, before you go flipping over every couch cushion in your house or shaking down your grandma's piggy bank, hang on, because this isn't just any old penny. This one is rare and valuable for very specific reasons, and in this video I'm gonna tell you what makes it so special, how to spot one, and why collectors are throwing down serious cash to own it. And stick around, because I'll also share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin that could have been worth thousands. Yeah, real pain right there. So grab your change jar, sit back, and let's find out how a 1993 D Lincoln penny could turn you into a millionaire. Alright, first things first, let's talk about the basics. The 1993 D penny is a Lincoln cent, meaning it's got good old Abe Lincoln on the front, looking all wise and beardy. The D mint mark under the year means it was minted in Denver and millions of them were made. We're talking billions actually, but here's the kicker, not all pennies are created equal. Some come out of the mint with weird errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or the holy grail of penny mistakes, being struck on the wrong metal, the one that's worth a mind-blowing $1.6 million. falls into that rare category. It's believed to be a 1993 D penny that was struck on a bronze planchet, the kind that was supposed to be long gone by that time. You see, back in 1982 the US Mint switched from bronze to copper-plated zinc for pennies because inflation and stuff, so when a bronze planchet accidentally got tossed into the mix in 1993 and made it through the whole minting process, that created a super rare coin, and collectors go bananas for stuff like that. Now I know what you're thinking: how do I know if I've got one of these golden tickets hiding in my junk drawer? Well, here's what to look for. First, check the weight. A regular 1993 penny made of zinc should weigh about 25 grams, but the rare bronze ones, they weigh about 31 grams, so if your penny's got some extra heft, that's a good sign. Next, look at the color. The bronze ones tend to have a slightly warmer tone, more reddish and less shiny than the zinc ones, which can look kind of dull and silvery over time. And finally, take it to a coin expert or get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. If it's the real deal, trust me, it'll be worth the effort. They'll authenticate it, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be holding onto $1 million coin instead of just a plain old penny. I was at a flea market a couple years ago digging through this box of loose change like a total weirdo. My wife thought I'd lost my mind. I mean, who spends 45 minutes at a booth that smells like old socks looking at pennies? But there I was, channeling my inner Indiana Jones of numismatics, when I found this 1993 D penny that looked a little weird, heavier, maybe warmer in color. I got excited, like sweaty palms, heart pounding kind of excited, paid $1 for it, took it home, weighed it, ran around the house yelling like I won the lottery, and then boom, turns out it was just a zinc penny with some weird gunk on it. Yeah, I was crushed, I won't lie. I ate 3 ice cream sandwiches in a row, but hey, that's the hunt, right? Sometimes you strike out, sometimes you hit the jackpot, and now I'm obsessed with finding that one unicorn penny. And if you're watching this video, maybe you are too, so let's recap. You're looking for a 1993 D Lincoln penny that weighs more than it should, has that warm bronze glow, and ideally gets confirmed by an expert. If you find one, you could be sitting on a coin worth $1,600,000. Not bad for something you might have ignored in your sock drawer for the last decade, right? And remember, the world of coin collecting isn't just about history or shiny things, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the stories behind the coins, and yes, occasionally finding something worth more than your car. So, if you're into that kind of treasure hunting action and want more tips on coins that are secretly worth money, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and ring that little bell so you don't miss out on future uploads. Trust me, we've got more wild coin stories on the way that might just blow your mind, or at least make you dig through your couch cushions with new purpose. Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. What if I told you that a tiny penny, yes, that humble, everyday coin, could be worth over $1.7 million? No, I'm not pulling your leg. I'm talking about the 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's like finding out that your old, scratched up, never used by you cassette tapes are now worth hundreds of dollars. Just a heads up, if you find a penny with no mint mark from '86 lying around, you might just be holding onto a small fortune. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1986 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, breaking down exactly why this little guy is worth so much and how you can spot one in the wild, or maybe even from your very own coin jar. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll be an expert on this penny, and maybe even a little richer in knowledge, of course. First, the burning question: why is this particular penny worth so much? The answer lies in one simple thing: it's rare. Like, you've got a better chance of finding a unicorn in your backyard. Rare. See, most pennies from 1986 were made at the Philadelphia Mint, and they have the usual P Mint mark stamped on them. But here's where it gets interesting: a small number of 1986 pennies were produced without the mint mark at all. These are the ones we're talking about today, and they are considered an error coin. Now, don't go thinking that every 1986 penny without a mint mark is worth millions. Oh no, it's a little more complicated than that. For a penny to fetch top dollar, it's gotta be in pristine condition. We're talking about pennies that have been treated like royalty, shiny, scratch-free, and with crisp, clear details. That's because collectors and investors are willing to pay big for coins that are in perfect or near perfect condition, and the 1986 no mint mark penny, when found in mint condition, is a rarity that fits the bill. But where did these unmarked pennies come from? Well, it's a bit of a mystery. Some theories suggest that during the production process at the Philadelphia Mint, a small batch of pennies slipped through the cracks without receiving the usual mint mark. Others think that maybe, just maybe, a few of these pennies made it into circulation after the minting process was finished. No one really knows for sure, but what we do know is that these little guys have since become highly sought after in the coin collecting world. And now, let's talk about how you can actually find one of these bad boys. Coin collectors, I'm talking to you. Start checking your spare change. Of course, it's easier said than done, but here's the key. Check those pennies you have lying around in old drawers, piggy banks, or even the back seat of your car. You never know what you'll find in there. The 1986 no-mint mark penny might not be sitting right on top, but who knows? It could be buried in that pile of coins from last year's road trip. And if you don't have any old coins lying around, don't worry, check out local coin shops or online marketplaces. Just make sure you're getting it from a trusted seller, because authenticity is key. In mint condition, this penny can easily go for up to $1.7 million. That's right, $1.7 million. Imagine walking into a coin shop with a simple penny in your pocket and walking out with enough money to buy a new car, pay off your student loans, or hey, go on a vacation to somewhere fancy. I can already picture it now, you handing over that shiny penny, watching as the dealer's eyes widen, and then you both stare at each other in disbelief. It's like winning the lottery, but way cooler. But wait, it gets better. These pennies don't just hold value, they're getting rarer by the day. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for rare coins, and this one? Well, it's basically a goldmine. It's like finding an antique watch at a thrift store. You've got a little treasure just sitting there, waiting for someone to discover it. Now, let's be real here, most of us won't come across a penny worth over $1 million in our everyday change. But hey, don't let that stop you from keeping an eye out. Coin collecting is a hobby that can turn your spare change into something much more valuable. It's a fun way to learn about history and potentially make some extra cash along the way. Who knows? Maybe you'll discover a rare gem hidden in the bottom of your old coffee mug. Stranger things have happened. Okay, so I have to tell you this hilarious story. A few years ago, I was visiting my grandma's house, and I decided to go through some of the old coins in her drawer. She's got that typical "I save everything just in case it's worth something" mentality. As I was digging through the pile of pennies, I was joking with her about finding a rare one. She rolled her eyes, telling me that the only thing I'd find in there was some old junk. Fast forward a couple of days, and I'm going through my haul, and there it was, an old 1943 steel penny. I was stunned. I ended up selling it for a nice chunk of change. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the treasure you'll find while rummaging through random coin collections. And don't forget, the 1986 no-mint mark penny could be hiding in your collection too. So, if you're feeling lucky, check your coins and see if you've got a 1986 no-mint mark penny in your collection. If you do, make sure you take good care of it, because you might just be holding onto a fortune. And if you don't, no worries. Keep your eyes peeled, stay curious, and who knows? The next big find might just be around the corner. If you learned something new today, or if you're just as excited as I am about the possibility of stumbling upon a coin worth a small fortune, hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips, stories, and coin hunting strategies coming your way. Let's keep searching for those hidden gems together. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on what's next. Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and let's be honest, bored YouTube scrollers who fell into a rabbit hole of expensive coins. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, hey, this thing might just be worth more than my car or even my student loans? Well, what if I told you that a simple, shiny, copper looking 2017 penny, the kind you probably tossed in your junk drawer or dropped under the car seat, could actually be worth $1.8 million? Yup, you heard me right, one penny from 2017 with a little D mint mark has collectors going wild and wallets getting nervous. Now, before you sprint to flip your couch cushions or raid your kids' piggy bank, sit tight, because I'm gonna break down everything you need to know about the 2017 D Abraham Lincoln penny, what makes it special, how to spot one, why someone dropped $1 million and change on it, and yes, I'll even share my own penny mishap that still haunts me to this day. So grab a snack, maybe even a handful of change, and let's dive into the shiny world of pennies that are worth more than your house. It's part of the regular Lincoln Cents series, minted in Denver, hence the D under the date. You've seen it, it's got Honest Abe on the front, the Union Shield on the back, nothing flashy at first glance. Most of these 2017 D pennies are just your run-of-the-mill pocket change, but a very small handful turned out to be absolute unicorns, and I'm not just talking about rare, I'm talking about $1 million mistakes. See, one of these coins got struck on a blank meant for a dime. Yup, a dime, which means it's the size of a dime lighter and has this freaky in-between look that makes collectors lose their minds. Others had doubled dies, off-center strikes, or insane high-grade conditions like MS69, which in coin grading is basically like finding a French fry that's still hot and crispy at the bottom of the bag. Rare, magical, and worth celebrating. Now let's talk money. The record sale for a 2017 D penny was a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. That's like 3 Teslas, 4 years of college, or approximately 84,000 Taco Bell tacos, give or take. Why would anyone pay that much, you ask? Well, coin collectors are a passionate breed, and when a rare modern error hits the market in perfect condition, it's like Comic-Con meets Antiques Roadshow. Everyone wants it and the bids go wild. But how do I know if my 2017 D penny is the golden ticket? Well, step 1, check the weight. If it feels off, like too light or too thin, you might have something. Step 2, grab a magnifying glass, look for any doubling, especially in the date or the letters like IN God we TRUST. Step 3, check the shape and color. If it looks too silver or oddly small, bingo, we might have a winner. And of course, if you really suspect something, head to a coin dealer or get it graded by PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if you're sitting on copper or a mini fortune. So picture this, it's 2018, I'm cleaning out my car, which honestly was more like an archaeological dig. I find a little 2017 D penny on the floor right next to an old French fry and a half-melted crayon. I remember thinking, how this penny looks kinda weird, but instead of checking it, I use it to buy gum. You can imagine my heartbreak when a month later I read about the $1 million penny and realized that I may have spent mine on a piece of peppermint. Disappointment. Moral of the story, never underestimate floor coins. Folks, pennies aren't always just pennies. That little 2017 D in your pocket could be a literal jackpot if you know what to look for. It's about checking your change, staying curious, and maybe, just maybe, hitting the coin lottery without ever stepping foot in Vegas. Now, if you liked this video, learned something new, or at least laughed at my tragic gum story, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smack the like, drop a comment telling me if you've ever found a rare coin, or just what's the weirdest thing you've ever bought with a penny. And if you want more tips on coins that are secretly worth money, how to spot valuable errors, and how to make your collection shine brighter than a brand new penny, this is the place. Thanks for hanging out with me. You're now officially one of the cool coin crew. Hey there, coin hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into paychecks and forgotten coins into fortune cookies you don't eat. Now let me ask you something, when was the last time you really looked at your pennies? No, like really looked at them, because buried in that jar on your kitchen counter or stuck in your car cup holder under old receipts and gum wrappers could be a little brown coin worth over $1 million. Yup, I'm talking about the 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, come on, it's just a penny, right? 1 cent, what can it buy these days? Maybe half a piece of gum if you're lucky. Well, what if I told you this humble little coin is currently worth about $1.1 million? Yep, you heard that right, 1 cent could flip your entire bank account. So stick around, because we're diving deep into what makes this coin so valuable, what to look for, how to find it, and I'll even tell you a quick story about how I nearly mistook a valuable penny for a washer and almost tossed it in the laundry. Don't be like me. Alright, so let's get into the meat and potatoes, or should I say the copper and zinc. First off, no mint mark just means it was minted in Philadelphia. Back then the Philly Mint didn't use a mark on the coin like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, so if your penny doesn't have a mint mark under the year, it's likely from good old Cheesesteak Town. Now here's the kicker, most of these pennies are worth face value, just a penny, but there are super rare errors and varieties that make collectors go bananas, and the 1984 no mint mark penny with a very specific error is one of them. So what makes this one worth $1 million? It's all about the double die. Nope, not something you roll in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. I am talking about doubling on the coin's design, in this case the 1984 double die obverse. That's a fancy way of saying Lincoln's face looks like it partied too hard and now has a ghostly twin. You'll see strong doubling in the earlobe and sometimes in his Jawline looks like Honest Abe had a late night and forgot to take off his 3D glasses. That's what collectors drool over. Strong clear doubling, not the kind where you're squinting and going, I think I see it. We're talking obvious eye-popping doubling now. Pair that with a coin in top-notch condition. We're talking shiny like it just came off the press yesterday. That's where the big bucks come in. One of these bad boys in nearly perfect condition was snagged up for around $1.1 million at auction. Now before you flip over your couch cushions and dig through every drawer, let me hit you with a quick story. So a few years ago I was at my grandma's house. She's the queen of coin jars, has about 5 of them scattered around the house. You never know if it's a snack jar or a coin jar. One day I'm helping her clean up and I dump one of those jars into a tray and boom, there it is, a 1984 no mint mark penny, and it had some serious doubling going on. Nearly passed out, grabbed a magnifier, checked the year low, bam, double vision. I was about to dance like I won the lottery. Took it to a local coin dealer. He looks at it under the light, smiles, then says, sorry kid, it's just damaged, not doubling. Turns out it was a penny that got mashed by something heavy, probably a kitchen chair. Knowing grandma. Moral of the story, know what you're looking for. Let's break it down for the folks who want to try their luck. How to spot a valuable 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Check the obverse side, that's the front where Lincoln is giving us that sideways stare. Use a magnifying glass or loop. Look at the earlobe. You want clear, bold doubling. It should look like he's got a second ear growing out of his face. Not subtle, not maybe, it should be BAM in your face. Check the condition. A circulated coin might still be worth something, but to hit those 6 or 7 figure payouts you'll want it in mint state condition. Look for minimal scratches, strong luster, and no major dings. Get it graded. If you think you've struck copper gold, send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or Rank. That's the only way you'll get those high dollar offers from serious collectors. And finally, don't forget about coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces like eBay. But be smart, scammers are out there and not every double die is created equal. Alright, so to wrap things up, the dusty old penny in your drawer could literally be $1 million surprise, especially if it's a 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a double die obverse. Those things are rare, they're valuable, and they're sitting out they're in the wild waiting to be found. So here's your homework after this video. Grab a handful of your pocket change, start checking. Use a flashlight, grab a magnifier, look for that doubled ear on Abe. And hey, if you're like me and already tore apart your house, don't give up. New coins are circulating all the time and you never know when the next $1 million penny will slip into your hands. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you got even one smile or learned something cool, hit that subscribe button. Join the Coin Crew. We're all about turning sense into sense, and if you want more tips, stories, and laughs about coins worth money, you know where to find me right here. Next time we might talk about nickels worth more than your car. Catch you on the next one. Hey there, treasure hunters, coin collectors, and everyone who's ever dropped a penny and said meh, it's just a cent. Well, buckle up, because what if I told you that the little brown coin you've probably used to scratch off a lottery ticket or left forgotten in your couch cushions could be worth over $1 million? Yep, you heard that right. Today we're talking about the 2013 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that has a current market value of, wait for it, $1.3 million. That's right, a single penny that could buy you a mansion, a Tesla, a lifetime supply of tacos, and still leave you enough change to flip for heads or tails. So stick around, because I'm breaking down how this tiny coin turned into a mega jackpot, what makes it special, and how you can check if you have one of these bad boys lying around at home. In 2013, the US Mint pumped out billions, and yes, with a B, of Lincoln pennies. Most were made at the Philadelphia Mint, which is where the no mint mark pennies come from. CN Philly. They're too cool for mint marks. They're like the mysterious, strong, silent types of the coin world. Now, normally these 2013 no mint mark pennies are just your run-of-the-mill copper-plated zinc coins worth a whopping 1 cent. But here's where it gets spicy. Some of these coins came out with an extremely rare error, a minting flaw that turned them from pocket change into museum-level masterpieces. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, planchet errors, and in one legendary case, a coin was struck on a bronze planchet that wasn't even supposed to be in circulation anymore. That coin, ladies and gentlemen, is the superstar of today's show. It's a 2013 no mint mark penny struck on a bronze planchet and graded in almost perfect condition by the top dogs in the coin grading world. It ended up selling at auction for $1.3 million. That's right, someone bought a penny for the price of a beach house. Now I know what you're thinking, that's cool and all, but I probably don't have a $1 million penny in my pocket, right? Well, maybe not, but let me tell you a little story. So a couple years ago, I'm at my grandma's house helping her clean out her attic. She's got jars of old coins, like literal mason jars full of pennies, nickels, and dimes from who knows when. She says take whatever you want, so I start going through them for fun, thinking maybe I'll find a wheat penny or two, and boom, I find a 1983 double die penny worth a few $100, not quite $1 million, but hey, free money for just poking through some old change, and the thrill, I felt like I'd just hit the coin collector lottery. Moral of the story, never underestimate the power of a penny. Now back to the 2013 penny. If you want to know if you've got a potential millionaire in your hands, here's what to look for. First, check the date. It has to be 2013 and no mint mark under the date. Remember, no Dino S, just plain old 2013. Next, look for weirdness that could be doubling on the lettering, off-center images, the wrong metal tone, or even a strange weight. If your penny feels a little heavier than usual or has a color that looks more bronze than copper, it might be worth getting it checked out by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if it's not the legendary $1.3 million coin, there are still 2013 era pennies selling for hundreds and even thousands of dollars online, and that's nothing to roll your eyes at. Oh, and please, whatever you do, don't clean the coin, don't polish it, don't wash it, don't try to make it shiny. That's like washing a vintage comic book with dish soap. Trust me, it'll ruin the value. Pennies are not just pennies, some of them are undercover millionaires hiding in plain sight. The 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny has the potential to turn your spare change into serious change, and most importantly, always check your pocket change, because you never know when that little copper coin might just be your ticket to early retirement. If you found this video fun, helpful, or even just mildly entertaining, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, smack that like, give that notification bell a little love, and join the growing community of people learning how to turn coins into cash. We've got plenty more videos coming up showing you what to look for, how to identify valuable coins, and even strategies for building your own treasure chest of numismatic riches. Remember, your next millionaire moment could be just one penny away. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. You ever hear about a penny that's worth more than a cup of coffee from your favorite cafe? Well, I've got a juicy story for you today about the 2021 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard it right, a penny worth $1.4 million. If that sounds too good to be true, buckle up, because I'm about to take you on a wild ride through the world of valuable pennies, and trust me, it's gonna be worth every second. Okay, I know what you're thinking. A penny, $1.4 million? Come on. But this isn't just any ordinary coin that you'd find in your pocket after a trip to the vending machine. This one's got some serious value, and today, we're diving deep into why this 2021 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is a goldmine. Spoiler alert, it's not just because Lincoln's face is on it. Alright, so let's start at the beginning. A 2021 D-Mint Mark penny, right? You might have picked one up when they were first released and tossed it in a jar with all those other pennies you just don't know what to do with. Laughs, yeah, I've been there too. I once thought I'd struck gold when I found a 1960s penny that was maybe worth something. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So, when I first heard about the 2021 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny's value, I did a double take. A penny from 2021? Really? Here's where it gets interesting. The value of this particular penny isn't just tied to its age or copper content. Oh no, it's actually because of a rare error in its minting process that made it way more valuable than any other 2021 penny. You see, this penny features a unique flaw, and I'm talking a mistake so special that it turned this penny into a hidden treasure. Coins with errors like this don't come around every day, and when they do, collectors go crazy for them. Now, I know what you're thinking, how do I even spot something like that? Well, let me give you a little tip. You don't need a magnifying glass or to be some sort of coin wizard to find this beauty. Just a good eye and a little patience. First off, make sure to check the mint mark. For the 2021 D penny, the mint mark, the little d, should be clean and crisp. But in the case of this particular penny, a slight doubling of the mint mark made it stand out, and that's what makes it so valuable. So, if you've got a 2021 D penny lying around, it might just be your lucky day. Just imagine this, you're going through a jar of pennies at your local thrift store, or maybe you're just looking through your own spare change, and boom, you find this gem. And that penny you found, my friends, could be worth $1.4 million. Yeah, that's right, $1.4 million, enough to buy a house, a car, or, heck, a lifetime supply of pizza. Not that I'm complaining about that. And you know, this whole coin hunting thing actually reminds me of something. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, just casually looking around, when I stumbled upon a dusty old box full of coins. I had no idea what I was looking at, but I was feeling lucky that day, so I grabbed a handful of pennies. One of them? It was a 1943 steel penny. You wouldn't believe it, but that one penny ended up being worth a few $1,000s. That day, I learned a very important lesson: always, and I mean always, check your pennies. Now, don't get too carried away. The reality is, finding a $1.4 million penny doesn't happen every day. But the point here is, with a little luck and some knowledge, you could be holding onto a coin worth way more than you'd think. And the 2021 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is just the latest example of how rare coins can be sitting in plain sight. Maybe you've got one tucked away in that jar of pennies you've been collecting since forever. And here's the cool thing, coin collecting isn't just about big money finds. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the fun of learning about history, and, of course, maybe finding that one special coin that makes you do a double take when you check its value. Alright folks, if you learned something today or just had fun hanging out, hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Why? Well, I've got a lot more insider tips, stories, and coin hunting strategies coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on all the amazing coins that are sitting in your pocket right now waiting to make you some cash. And who knows? Your next lucky find could be the next big story we share here. You could be the one telling your friends about your $1.4 million penny. Now that would be a story worth telling. So, go dig through those jars, look through your pennies, and get ready to turn some change into real change. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep hunting those coins, and remember, it's not just about the value of the coin, it's about the adventure of finding it. Catch you in the next one. Alright folks, gather round because today we're diving into a coin that might just change your life forever or at least make you rethink the dusty jar of change sitting on your kitchen counter. Yes, you heard that right, I'm talking about a 1991 Lincoln penny no mint mark, and get this, it's worth up to $1.5 million. That's not a typo, not $15, not $1,500, I'm talking 1.5 million, big one. So if you've ever rolled your eyes at that person who picks up pennies off the ground, well, joke's on us, because one of those floor pennies might just buy them a beach house in Malibu. Stick around because we're breaking it all down in a way that's fun, simple, and sprinkled with some laughs. You won't need a magnifying glass and white gloves, just a little curiosity and maybe a flashlight if you're digging under the couch cushions. Now let's rewind a little back to 1991. George H.W. Bush was in the White House. Nirvana was changing music forever, and somewhere in the middle of all that, the US Mint cranked out millions of Lincoln pennies. But here's where it gets juicy. Most pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. That's normal, but in 1991 something odd happened. A small batch of these no mint mark pennies ended up being struck on a different planchet or had odd errors that made them super rare. And by rare I don't mean your grandma's old Hummel figurines rare, I mean we're talking so rare that collectors will auction off their left socks to get one. Now here's the kicker, one of these 1991 no mint mark Lincoln pennies sold for up to $1.5 million recently. That's enough to buy a McMansion, a Tesla, and still have money left over for guac at Chipotle every day for life. But how do you know if you've got one? Well, grab that jar of coins and get to sorting. Look specifically for a crisp, clear Abraham Lincoln portrait, strong, bold details, no visible mint mark under the year. And here's the deal, if it looks off, don't toss it. It might be a misstrike, a double die, or a transitional error, which are all things coin nerds like me drool over. Okay, story time. So I used to have this little coffee can of pennies under my bed, and one day my cousin comes over and we start going through it just for kicks. He picks one up, squints at it, and says, "Hey, this one looks weird." Turns out it was a 1992 close AM penny, not the 1991, but still worth hundreds. Moral of the story, never underestimate your couch cushions or bored cousins. You never know when a penny might pay your rent for a year. Now back to the 1991 penny. Not all no mint mark pennies are $1,000,000 treasures, but if you've got one in pristine condition or with some funky error, you could be sitting on a jackpot. Collectors go bananas for coins with oddities like off-center strikes, die cracks, or doubling. If yours looks suspicious in a good way, get it graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGCU. Don't want to be the person who gives away a $1,000,000 penny to a gas station cashier for a pack of gum. And don't be shy about joining coin forums or groups online. I've learned so much from Facebook groups full of folks geeking out over dimes, nickels, and pennies. You'd be surprised how friendly and helpful the coin community is. Just don't start a debate about wheat pennies unless you're ready for a heated discussion. Also, quick side note, be careful about those clickbait coin listings online. Not every penny with a high price tag is actually worth that much. Always check sold listings, not asking prices. That's like judging the price of a car by what people want, not what people get. So here's the takeaway, friends, that little copper coin from 1991 with no mint mark might not look like much, but it could be your ticket to a whole new lifestyle, or at the very least it's worth a double take before you toss it in the Coinstar machine. Remember, condition is king, rarity is the crown, and errors are the secret royal jewels of coin collecting. And hey, even if you don't find a $1,000,000 penny, at least you're getting smarter every time you learn something new about coins. Plus it gives you a fun story to tell at parties, or at least a cool reason to keep picking up pennies from the sidewalk before you go. Do me a solid, if you love learning about coins that could change your bank account, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Tap that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos where we dive into more hidden treasures you might already own. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you're about to raid your penny jar right now. I want to hear your stories. Hey there, coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into paydays and your spare pennies into potential fortunes. Now grab your coin jars, shake them out and hold on tight, because today we're talking about a penny that's got everyone buzzing, the 1978 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? This little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping $16 million. Yep, you heard that right, a humble penny minted in Denver back in the disco era. Might just be your ticket to early retirement. Sounds crazy, right? But stick around, because we're diving deep into what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and the little things that could make your coin collection worth way more than you think. Let's rewind to 1978. Picture this: the Bee Gees are ruling the charts, bell bottoms are in full swing, and the Denver Mint is busy striking millions of Lincoln pennies. Most of those pennies just went on to live their regular penny lives, getting dropped in vending machines, lost in couch cushions, you name it. But every now and then something magical happens. A few rare coins end up being minted with unique features that make collectors lose their minds, and that's exactly the case with the 1978 D Lincoln penny. First things first, the D Mint market means the coin was minted in Denver. That's not rare by itself, they minted a ton of these, but here's where things get juicy. There are a few extremely rare 1978 D pennies that have errors or were struck in such pristine condition that they became collectors' gold. We're talking about pennies with double dies, off-center strikes, or struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine finding a penny that looks like it's been hit with a printing glitch. Jackpot. Then there's the condition. The holy grail for coin collectors is something called mint state, or MS. These coins are in near perfect condition, no scratches, no fingerprints, no vending machine trauma, just pure shiny perfection. And guess what? One of these pristine 1978 D pennies in MS67 condition sold at auction for around $16 million. Yes, $16 million for a penny that probably cost more to ship than it was worth. Back in the day a couple years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know, just the usual random boxes, old baseball cards, expired canned beans, and you guessed it, an old coffee can full of pennies. I almost tossed it in the donation pile, but curiosity got the better of me. I dumped it out and started looking through the pile purely out of boredom. Lo and behold, I found a 1978 D penny. Nothing fancy at first glance, but I held onto it thinking, what if right? I ended up getting it checked out by a local coin dealer. He flipped it over, squinted real close, pulled out his magnifier, and gave me that look you only see when someone thinks they've struck gold. Turns out it wasn't worth millions, but it was worth over $100. Not bad for something that had been sitting next to rusty nails and a dusty wrench for 30 years. So how do you know if you've got a 1978 D penny worth money? Here are a few quick tips. 1. Look for that D Mint mark just under the date on the front of the coin. If you've got it, you're on the right track. 2. Examine it for any errors, doubled numbers, weird shapes, or anything that looks a little off. That could be a rare minting error. 3. Check the condition. If it looks like it just came out of a fresh roll of coins with a shiny copper finish, and 0 where you might be in business. 4. Get it graded. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If it comes back with a high mint state rating, your coin's value could skyrocket. And 5. Don't clean your coins. Seriously, I know it's tempting to make it all shiny, but cleaning can actually ruin its value. Let it be dirty and valuable instead of shiny and worthless. So there you have it, folks. The 1978 D Lincoln penny might just be the underdog champion of your coin collection. With a little bit of luck and a sharp eye, you could be holding on to something worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. If you're serious about getting into coins or just want to know what to look for before you dump your change into a Coinstar machine, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. We've got tons more videos coming up covering rare coins, hidden gems, and money-making tips that'll blow your mind. Oh, and don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed hanging out, and drop a comment if you've ever found a coin worth more than you expected. We love hearing your stories. Hey, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and couch change checkers, have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little copper dude is worthless? Well, today, I'm gonna blow your mind with the story of a 1969 D Lincoln penny that's worth more than some people's houses. No joke, $1.7 million. That's right. A single, tiny, brownish red penny. Imagine dropping it in a vending machine by accident. Ouch.so. Before you go cashing in your piggy bank or letting your pennies sit lonely in a drawer, hang tight, because in this video, we're diving deep into the world of that humble yet ultra-valuable 1969 D penny. I'm gonna tell you what makes it special, what to look for, how to possibly spot one in your own pocket change, and yes, I've got a weirdly personal story involving a penny, a gas station burrito, and a life lesson. Now I know what you're thinking. It's just a regular OL penny, right? Lincoln on the front, looking like he just heard someone say, "I hate top hats," and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing crazy, but here's the kicker. The 1969 D Lincoln penny has a rare breed in its batch. And when I say rare, I mean unicorn level rare. It's like the Bigfoot of the penny world, only this one is real and can pay off your mortgage. It's all about the double die. Yep. A double die obverse, to be exact. That's a fancy term that means the coin was struck more than once during production, kind of like your friend who hits the elevator button 17 times because they think it'll go faster. The result? Letters and numbers that look doubled, especially the date, 1969, and the word liberty and in God we trust. You don't need a magnifying glass, but it helps. The doubling on these coins is bold. It's not one of those is it or isn't it deals. If you see it, you'll know most of the high-value 1969 double-die pennies were minted in Philadelphia, which means they don't have a mint mark at all. But guess what? A tiny handful of 1969 D coins, yes, with the D mint mark for Denver, showed up with that same doubling effect. We're talking about a rare error on a coin from a different mint, and only a few of them are known to exist. That's why they're worth millions, my friend. Rarity plus condition plus demand equals a penny that could change your life. Now, let's talk condition. You might have a 1969 D double-die penny, but if it's been used to scratch off lottery tickets, chewed on by a toddler, or spent 5 years at the bottom of a fish tank, it probably ain't worth the full $1.7 million. Still worth a lot, but not mansion money. What collectors want is a high-grade coin, clean, crisp details, no major damage. The kind of coin that looks like it just rolled off the press yesterday. The top-tier one that's sold recently? MS64 red condition. Yeah. That's top-shelf stuff. So what should you look for if you're digging through your change? Look for a 1969 penny with a D under the date if you see one. Do not clean it, just put it in a safe sleeve and take it to a coin expert or grading service. Okay, story time. A few years ago, I was flat broke. Like, couch diving for quarters broke. I'm in a gas station, craving this microwave burrito like it's a 5-star meal. I'm short, like, 17 cents. I dig deep, pull out a handful of change, and there it is, a crusty old 1969 D penny. I think, Lincoln's got that look like he knows something. I toss it in, get my burrito, and walk out with my prize. Years later, I start getting into coin collecting. I read about the 1969 D double die, and a chill runs down my spine. I dig out my old coin stash, hoping that penny survived. Spoiler alert, it didn't. That burrito cost me $1.7 million. If that's not a life lesson, I don't know what is. That penny could buy a mansion. Or 1,000 burritos a day for the rest of your life. Collectors are actively hunting for these. One in high-grade condition is currently valued at $1.7 million. Lower grades can still fetch hundreds of thousands. Auction houses have a waiting list for authenticated ones. If you've got one, you're not just lucky, you're sitting on a literal fortune. The mighty 1969 D Lincoln penny. It's proof that even the most overlooked things in life, like spare change in your car's cup holder, could be hiding gold. Well, copper, but you get the point. If you made it this far, I've got a challenge for you. Go check your change jar right now. Look in your glove compartment. Ask your grandma if she's got any old pennies stashed away. And if you find one that looks like Lincoln's doubled up like he saw a ghost, don't sleep on it. Get it checked. You could be a millionaire by tomorrow. But if you loved this story and want more tips on valuable coins, coin hunting strategies, and funny stories about my financially questionable decisions, smash that subscribe button like it owes you money. Hit the like, leave a comment if you've ever had a lucky coin moment, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a $1 million penny. Hey there, coin hunters and casual change checkers, welcome back to the channel where we turn your pocket change into potential treasure maps. Okay, quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at a penny? I mean, really looked at it, not just tossed it in the nearest jar or used it to scratch a lottery ticket. I'll wait. Well, today you're gonna wish you did, because we're diving deep into one of the most surprising stories in the coin world. That's right, we're talking about the unassuming little 1981 no mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth up to $1.8 million. Yep, you heard that right, 1.8 mil for a single copper coin that you might already have in your junk drawer. Now, before you start flipping your couch cushions looking for that lucky penny, stick around, because I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this penny so valuable, how to spot one, what kind of mistakes make it worth big bucks, and how I once accidentally gave away a rare coin thinking it was just a regular old penny. Spoiler alert, I cried later. Alright, so let's break it down. In 1981, the US Mint was still producing pennies primarily from copper, and if you look closely at a lot of pennies from this year, you'll notice they have no mint mark at all. Now, normally coins without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia, and that was pretty standard, but here's where it gets interesting. Some of these no mint mark 1981 Lincoln pennies have some pretty unique characteristics. We're talking die Errors, double strikes, off-center prints, you name it, and these tiny imperfections can add up to a massive payday if the right collector comes along. So you might be wondering how a 1-cent coin ends up worth more than a Lamborghini. It's all about rarity, demand, and condition, the holy trinity of coin collecting. In the case of the 1981 no mint mark penny, one particular specimen was found with an insane die error resulting in a double die obverse. You could see clear doubling in Lincoln's profile, and the lettering looked like Honest Abe had a shadow twin, and collectors lost their minds over it. And the cherry on top, this specific coin was in nearly flawless condition, graded MS68 red. That's mint speak for this thing. Looked like it was struck 5 minutes ago and gently placed on a cloud. That combination of rarity, condition, and a mint error turned it into a $1.8 million superstar. You can't make this stuff up. So, back in college I was flat broke, like digging in the couch for ramen money. Broke I had this jar full of pennies, and one day I decided to cash them in at the grocery store. Coinstar, you know the drill. Fast forward about 5 years, I got into coin collecting and started reading up on rare coins. Guess what was on the list? That's right, the 1981 no mint mark penny with a double die error. I felt a cold sweat break out because I knew I had one that looked weird back in the day. Big bold letters looked all funky. Lincoln looked like he was trying to photobomb himself. I had dropped a potential $1 million coin into a machine that probably sent it into circulation, or worse, melted it down. I don't know where that coin is now, but I think about it every time I hear someone say they don't care about pennies. Moral of the story: pay attention to your change, folks. Step 1, grab your stash of pennies. Don't pretend you don't have one. We all do, somewhere under the bed next to the socks that disappeared years ago. Step 3, check for the mint mark, or in this case the lack of one. If there's no letter under the date, you're on the right track. Step 4, get a magnifying glass or use your phone camera. Zoom in on Lincoln's face, the word liberty, and the date. If things look doubled or ghost-like, congrats, you might have a valuable error penny on your hands. Step 5, if you think you've got something, send it in to get graded. Don't try to clean it, don't lick it, don't throw it in a bag with your keys. Protect it like it's made of glass. It's all about collectors wanting something nobody else has. Think of it like Pokemon cards, but for grown-ups with mortgages and coin albums. A penny that's nearly perfect with a rare error from 1981 just ticks all the boxes, and with coin values going up every year, some people are treating these things like mini investments, which might actually be smarter than crypto at this point. So the next time someone tells you a penny isn't worth anything, you can just smile and say, well, mine might be worth $1.8 million, and walk away like a boss. Seriously though, this just goes to show you never know what kind of treasure might be sitting in your change jar, drawer, or cup holder. Take a few minutes to look. You could be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. And hey, if you found this video helpful, fun, or just mildly entertaining, don't forget to smash that like button, tap that subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another video about coins that can change your life and your wallet. We've got more rare pennies, nickels, and even quarters coming your way. Plus, I'll be sharing tips on what to look for and stories from other folks who turned pocket change into paychecks. Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into treasure hunts. I'm your host and fellow coin enthusiast, and today we're diving into a coin that might just be hiding in your couch cushions or forgotten piggy bank, the 1969 Lincoln penny. Yep, you heard that right, a good old 1-cent coin that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million in today's market. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions and shaking your coin jar, let's talk about why this humble little penny is making headlines among collectors, and how you can tell if you've got one of these hotcakes sitting in your stash. Trust me, this story is gonna make you look at your change a whole lot differently. Plus, I'll even share a little embarrassing moment from my own penny hunting past that'll have you laughing and maybe crying too. So buckle up, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. Well, for starters, it's a Lincoln Memorial penny, which was minted from 1959 to 2008, replacing the old wheat penny design. You've seen it a million times. Honest Abe chillin' on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Classic. Now here's where things get interesting. In 1969, the Denver Mint cranked out a bunch of these pennies with the D mint mark right under the date. Seems normal, right? Well, not quite. Most 1969 D pennies are worth exactly what you'd expect, 1 cent, maybe 2 cents if you're lucky and someone owes you interest. But a few of them, and I mean just a few, were struck with a special kind of error, a doubled die. Now, if you're new to coin lingo, let me break it down. A doubled die happens when the coin's design is impressed twice onto the die with slight misalignment. That means when the coins are struck, they look like they're seeing double letters or thicker and appear shadowed, like your penny went to a rave and came back all tripped out. In the 1969 D series, there's a very rare version with this exact doubling, and those coins are the money makers. We're talking serious cash. The most pristine example sold for around $1.1 million. That's a whole lot of Taco Bell. What makes it even spicier is how hard these coins are to find. The more time goes on, the rarer they become, because people either spent them, lost them, or they're buried in sock drawers across America waiting for some lucky soul to discover them. And listen, I know what you're thinking, oh great, another impossible treasure hunt. But here's the thing, people really do find these coins all the time. Okay, maybe not all the time, but often enough to keep hope alive. Let me tell you a little story. I was at a garage sale a few years back digging through a bowl of old coins just sitting there like a forgotten treasure chest. I found a 1969 D penny and my heart nearly leapt out of my chest. I pulled out my phone, turned on the flashlight and squinted like I was decoding ancient scripture. Turns out it wasn't the double die, just a regular old penny, probably had gum stuck to it at some point. Still, I walked away feeling like Indiana Jones with less danger and more nerdiness, but that experience taught me something you never know until you check. Here's what you're gonna do. Step 1, grab a magnifying glass or a loupe, the stronger the better. Step 2, look closely at the date and the words Liberty and in God We Trust. If the letters look like they've been doubled or shattered, you might have a winner. Step 3, don't panic, take a deep breath and send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give you the thumbs up or the soul-crushing reality check. Either way, you'll know for sure. Now let's talk condition. The value of these pennies skyrockets with the grade. That $1.1 million sale was for a coin in near perfect mint state. If yours has been run over by a bike or chewed by a dog, you're not hitting the $1 million club, but hey, even a worn one could fetch thousands. Collectors love these error coins and the demand is always strong. You could post it online and watch the offers roll in, or if you're like me, you'll just keep it in a plastic case and show it off at family dinners whether they care or not. So there you have it, folks, the 1969 D Lincoln penny that could change your life from 1 cent to 1 million. That's the power of a tiny copper disc. If you've got a coin jar, now's the time to go full treasure hunter mode. Shake the jar, dig through your glove box, call grandma and ask about her spare change stash. You never know. And hey, if you enjoyed this little coin adventure and want more tips, tricks, and stories from the world of rare money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you've ever checked your pennies for fun, and leave a comment if you've ever had a close call with a rare coin. I love reading your stories. Remember, folks, one man's penny is another man's jackpot. Hey coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where pocket change turns into major cha-ching. Imagine this, you're digging through an old piggy bank, right, the kind that's more dust than dollar at this point, and there it is, a dull copper penny just chillin' there from 1984 with a tiny D under the date. You squint a little, think it just a regular old penny, maybe it'll get you some gum if it was 1992, but guess what? That little guy might be worth $1.2 million today, yeah. Let that sink in. 1.2 million. So hang tight because we're diving into everything you need to know about the 1984 D Lincoln penny, how it got so valuable, what to look for, and yes, I've got a personal story that'll either inspire you or make you cry a little. Alright, first things first, let's talk about the star of the show, the 1984 D Lincoln penny. Now D stands for Denver, which is where this little copper celebrity was minted. Back then these pennies were still mostly copper, not that zinc plated stuff we've got now, so you already have a bit of precious metal action going on. But wait, that's not what makes this particular coin hit that $1 million mark. It's like the coin making machine had a little too much coffee and stamped Lincoln's face more than once, especially around the ear and the lettering. So instead of Honest Abe, you've got slightly blurry Abe. Collectors go bananas for this kind of mistake. It's like owning a rare baseball card where the player's name is spelled wrong, but that just makes it way more special. Now here's where the story gets even more nuts. Only a handful of these 1984 D pennies with the double ear error are known to exist. Some are in near perfect condition, like fresh out of the mint. If you're lucky enough to find one in top condition, we're talking MS67 or above, you might just be looking at a payday of over $1 million. And before you go tossing your entire coin jar on the floor, hang tight because I got a story. So a few years ago, I'm helping my uncle clean out his garage, right? The guy's got jars and jars of coins like he's saving up for a vending machine empire or something. I see a 1984 D penny and for a second my heart skips like, yo, this might be it, this could be the jackpot. I grab a magnifying glass, start checking the year area like I'm solving a crime. Turns out nope, no doubling, just a very worn down Abe looking like he's been through some things. Disappointed, yes, but now I check every penny like I'm hunting treasure, because you never know, man. So what should you look for if you're hunting for this golden goose of a penny? Look closely at Lincoln's ear. Does it look like there's a second ear popping out? Yeah, you've got the doubled die. Sometimes the doubling shows up there too. Condition is everything. If it's shiny, crisp, and looks like it never went through a washing machine, you're in business. Oh, and quick tip, don't clean the coin. Seriously, don't grab a sponge or soap. That's like washing a Mona Lisa with dish detergent. Collectors want it in raw, untouched glory. Also, if you think you've got the real deal, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That's how you know what it's really worth. You might spend a little to get it graded, but hey, if the coin's worth over $1 million, that's a pretty good trade-off. And yeah, believe it or not, people have found these in change from grocery stores, flea markets, even old birthday cards from grandma. So don't overlook those everyday coins. You never know what little treasure might be hiding in plain sight. The 1984 D Lincoln penny might seem like just another coin, but with the right error and condition, it could be your ticket to financial freedom, or at least a really cool story. Whether you're a hardcore collector or just someone who's now eyeing every penny like it owes you money, keep checking because the next millionaire coin could be in your couch cushions right now. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, learned something new, or just want to hear more stories of coins that can buy you a Mention, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that like button if you've already started digging through your change jar, and leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if your piggy bank just gave you heartburn and pocket lint. This has been your friendly neighborhood coin nerd reminding you to keep your eyes sharp, your coin safe, and your dreams big. Catch you in the next one where we'll uncover more money hiding in plain sight. Hey, coin lovers and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into possible paydays. And today, oh man, you're gonna want to check your coin jar because we're talking about a little copper beauty that might just change your life. That's right, we're diving into the 1968 Lincoln penny, a coin that looks like every other old penny until you realize one rare version of it is worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yep, $1.3 million for a penny that could be hiding in your couch cushions right now. And if you think this is just another boring history lesson on pennies, now we're gonna keep it real fun, real casual, and I might even embarrass myself with a personal story that involves a metal detector and a squirrel. You'll see. Alright, first things first, what is the 1968 Lincoln penny? Well, it's part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which started in 1959, replacing the old wheat pennies. You'll find Honest Abe's handsome face on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. The D mint mark means it was made in Denver. Now normally these coins are worth about 1 cent, I mean shocker, right? But if you've got a special one, that's where the magic happens. Because of some crazy minting errors and ultra rare conditions, certain 1968 D pennies have sold for insane amounts of money. Let's talk about what separates the regular pennies from the golden ticket. If your 1968 D penny is in mint state condition with a high grade like MS67 or higher, then we're talking serious cash, like enough to buy a house in some parts of the country or at least a pretty decent used car. But that's not all. There are error pennies from this year that send collectors into a frenzy. Double dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and crazy die cracks. If you spot one of these, you might be sitting on a literal gold mine of copper. That's when the front of the coin is struck twice slightly off. You'll see doubling in Abe's profile or in the lettering like in God We Trust. If it looks like your coin had one too many drinks at the mint, you might have a winner. This happens when the mint mark is punched more than once and not quite in the same spot, like it was trying to find the perfect angle for its selfie. These coins never saw a piggy bank, never touched a kid's sticky hand, and basically lived in a velvet-lined box their whole life, graded by experts and sealed in plastic like royalty. So what's the going rate for one of these bad boys if you've got a 1968 D penny with an MS67 grade or higher and maybe even a little error magic? We're talking a market value of $1.3 million. Yes, with 6 zeros. I know what you're thinking. Who's even paying this much for a penny? Well, hardcore collectors, investors, and sometimes even museums. That's who these folks don't mess around. They want the rarest of the rare, and they've got the big bucks to spend. Just earlier this year, a private collector snapped up one of these high-grade 1968 D pennies for a whopping $1.3 million. That's more than some people make in a decade just for one shiny little copper coin. Alright, time for a little story. I gotta admit, this one's kinda ridiculous. So I was out in the yard with a metal detector because yes, I have hobbies like that. Don't judge anyway. I'm scanning around looking for Civil War bullets or maybe Jimmy Hoffa, and I get a hit. I dig down and I find a penny. It's a little crusty, but I wipe it off and boom, it's a 1968 D. My heart skips a beat. I do a happy dance in front of my neighbor, who already thinks I'm weird. I rush inside, Google the coin, check it under a magnifier. And yeah, turns out it was not the $1 million one, still worth about 25 cents, so not a total loss. But I learned something huge. These pennies are out there and you don't need a metal detector, just check your change. So what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate your pocket change. That old jar of coins in your closet could be worth more than your car. The 1968 D Lincoln penny is proof of that. If you've got one, take a close look, check for mint marks, check for errors, and if it looks promising, consider getting it graded. And here's the deal: if you like this video and you want more tips on coins that could secretly be worth thousands or even millions, hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, do it. We've got videos coming on valuable nickels, dimes, quarters, and even those weird dollar coins no one knows what to do with. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin or just want to say hi. And if you've got a 1968 D penny lying around, let us know. Maybe your penny is the next millionaire. Hey, what's up my fellow treasure hunters and coin fanatics? Welcome back to the channel where your spare change might just make you rich. And today, oh man, we've got a real zinger for you. Imagine this: you're walking through your house, you find an old jar of pennies just chilling in the back of a dusty drawer. You pour it out hoping for maybe a cool wheat penny, and bam, there it is, a regular looking 1989 penny. No mint mark, nothing flashy. It's the kind of coin you'd probably use to scratch off a lottery ticket or jam in a vending machine for a gumball that's older than you. But hold up, what if I told you that same old penny could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard me right, 1.4 million with an M. Not monopoly money, not crypto, real life cold hard cash. So stick around, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive into the wild world of the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Most pennies have a little letter under the year, right? That's the mint mark. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. Well, actually, most of the time, Philly doesn't even bother stamping AP on pennies. They're just like, nah, you'll figure it out. So when we say no mint mark, we're talking about coins made in Philly, and for 1989, that's pretty standard. Millions of those were made, and this is a big OL, but not all 1989 no mint mark pennies are created equal. Let me hit you with some juicy coin nerd knowledge. There's a very specific rare version of the 1989 no mint mark penny that was struck with an experimental die. It's got unique characteristics, and almost all of them were pulled from circulation before anyone even saw them, like the government was hiding treasure from us. I mean, come on, Uncle Sam, throw us a bone. But one of those bad boys slipped through the cracks and got into someone's pocket, and that, my friends, is the $1,000,000 mistake we're all dreaming about. So how can you tell if your 1989 penny is the one? Well, you're gonna need a magnifying glass, a good light, and probably a snack. Because this takes patience. First, check the date and the details. Lincoln's bust should be sharp, not fuzzy or worn. If Abe's beard looks like he's been using dollar store conditioner, you might have a winner. Look for doubling. Yes, doubling, not like twins, but more like when the coin die shifts just a smidge and everything looks kinda shadowed. This is called a doubled die, and it's like the holy grail of coin errors. Check the edges if they look weird or off-center, or there's something funky about the rim. Congratulations, your penny is weird, and weird is good in the coin world finally. And this is the big one: get it professionally graded. If you even suspect you've got something special, don't toss it in the coin jar next to the Canadian quarters you've been pretending are still good at gas stations. Get that sucker graded by PCGS or NGC or one of those alphabet soup companies. They'll let you know if you're sitting on a goldmine or just a shiny copper circle. So a few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, doing the whole good grandkid thing, and I found this old Folgers coffee can full of pennies and dust, and what I'm assuming was part of a mummified mouse. I start sorting through the coins because that's what coin nerds do, and I find a 1989 no mint mark penny. I lose my mind for like 3 seconds, thinking I hit the jackpot. I'm planning trips to Hawaii, buying a mansion for grandma, and naming a yacht Penny for your thoughts. Turns out mine was just a regular one, but hey, it lit the spark and got me hooked, and now here we are making YouTube videos and having a blast. The point is, these coins are out there. They're not just myths or urban legends. Someone out there has one in their junk drawer or car cup holder, and it could be you. And just to blow your mind a little more, one of these pennies sold for $1.4 million at auction. Collectors were fighting over it like it was the last PlayStation on Black Friday, and the best part is they probably didn't even know it was valuable when they first got it. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's like legal gambling, but with better odds and less crying. The 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that hidden treasure still exists, and it's not buried under an X on some pirate map. It's jingling around in your couch cushions, in your car ashtray, or maybe even glued to a school project from 3rd grade. So here's what I want you to do after this video: go check your pennies, look for 1989 no mint mark, give Abe a good once over and see if he's got that $1,000,000 sparkle. And if you're serious about turning pocket change into life change, hit that subscribe button, because I've got way more where this came from. We're talking rare nickels, dimes, quarters, and yes, even the coins you didn't think mattered. And also smash that like button, drop a comment if you think you've got a special penny, and hey, maybe your story will be the next one we tell on this channel. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into paychecks and coins into cold hard cash. If you've ever found yourself digging through the couch cushions or your car cup holder for loose change, this video is for you, because today we're talking about a penny that might just be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your entire student loan debt combined. Yes, you heard that right. A 2004 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny has sold for a jaw-dropping $15 million. On the collector's market, that's $1.5 million for a coin that's literally worth 1 cent in the eyes of the average person. Wild, right? So buckle up, because in the next 40 minutes we're diving deep into what makes this penny so rare, how you can spot one, and how to avoid accidentally spending one on a gumball. Now, by 2004, the Lincoln penny had been in circulation for nearly a century, ever since good old Honest Abe first graced the face of the coin in 1909. His coppery mug has been jiggling around in our pockets, making exact change possible, and sometimes falling between the car seat and the center console, where all socks and sanity go to die. In 2004, the United States Mint released billions of Lincoln cents. We're talking billions with a B, but among all those ordinary coins, there were a few that slipped through the cracks with no mint mark whatsoever. And when we say no mint mark, we mean that little letter under the date that usually tells you where the coin was made. P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. Your classic alphabet soup of coin collecting. Now here's where things get juicy. Coins from Philadelphia typically don't carry a mint mark at all, but in 2004, a particular batch of Lincoln pennies had some serious quality issues. We're talking off-center strikes, doubling errors, die cracks, and some oddball planchet mix-up. Some of these pennies were struck on experimental metal compositions or had strange coloring patterns. Others had missing elements or ghost-like doubling effects on the words "In God We Trust" or "LIBRTYN." One specific coin graded at an astonishingly high level by professional coin grading services turned out to be nearly flawless with an error so rare it's believed to be one of a kind that one my friends was valued at a whopping $15 million at a high-stakes auction attended by coin collectors with deeper pockets than a kangaroo wearing cargo pants. Now listen, I know what you're thinking, this can't be real. Right? How does a penny become worth millions? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and demand. Think of it like Pokemon cards, only instead of Charizard you've got Abraham Lincoln looking confused and a little judgmental. The rarer the coin, the more coin collectors go nuts for it, and when a coin has a perfect or near perfect condition combined with a super rare mint error, it basically becomes the Beyonce of pocket change. Everyone wants it, and only a few can afford it. Now let me take a quick detour and share a personal story because this actually hit close to home for me. A few years ago I was at my grandma's house helping her clean out her old coffee can full of coins, you know, the ones that boomers love to keep stashed away like a squirrel with trust issues. I'm sorting through these pennies when I find this weird looking one. No mint mark, looks kinda off center and has a weird shimmer to it. I'm like, huh, neat, and I literally used it to pay for parking the next day. Fast forward a few months, I'm watching a YouTube video kinda like this one and they're showing a 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny with that exact same shimmer and off-center strike. I nearly choked on my chips. To this day I have no idea if that was the $1 million penny I gave away for $1 worth of meter time, but I've been checking every coin ever since. Trust me, lesson learned. So how can you avoid making my dumb mistake? Here are some tips. First, always check your change. Keep a little magnifying glass on your keychain. I know it sounds nerdy, but trust me, coin nerds are laughing all the way to the bank. Second, look for signs of mint errors. Is the design off center? Are the letters doubled? Does it look like Abe skipped leg day and has a ghost shadow of his head? All of those can be signs you've got something rare. Third, learn how to grade your coin. There are tons of online resources that can help you determine if your penny is worth pennies or powerboats. Fourth, if you think you found something special, take it to a coin dealer, or better yet, submit it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you if it's the real deal and how much it might be worth. And fifth, remember that not all no mint mark pennies are valuable, but a small handful, especially from 2004, can absolutely change your life. Imagine finding that penny in your kid's piggy bank or at the bottom of your laundry machine, or maybe you've already spent it on a Snickers and just haven't cried about it yet, like I have. So there you have it, folks, the tale of the 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth more than most people's retirement fund. If there's one thing I hope you take away from this, it's that treasure doesn't always look like gold bars or pirate maps. Sometimes it looks like a dirty penny stuck to the bottom of your shoe. So keep your eyes peeled, check your change, and for the love of coin collecting, do not underestimate the power of a 1-cent piece. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more tips on spotting rare coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on more hidden gems lurking in your wallet. And hey, drop a comment if you've ever had a coin collecting win or horror story. I love hearing from you guys, and who knows, your story could be featured in a future video. Hey there, coin hunters and accidental millionaires in the making. Okay, real quick, go check your piggy bank, your junk drawer, that old coin jar collecting dust on the kitchen counter, because if you find a 1993 D Lincoln penny, you might be sitting on a gold mine, and by gold mine I mean a shiny copper-colored coin worth a whopping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a single penny from 1993 with a little D under the year could be worth more than your car, your house, and your student loans combined. Well, maybe not all three, but definitely your car. Now, before you go flipping your couch cushions like a maniac, stick around because I'm gonna break down exactly why this penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and I've even got a funny story about the time I almost spent a coin worth thousands on a vending machine Snickers bar. Yep, true story. So grab a snack, maybe even a penny or two, and let's dive in. So we're talking about the 1993 D Lincoln penny, you know, the one, Honest Abe on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back, classic. But what makes this one special is a little mix of rarity, minting errors, and pure dumb luck. Here's the scoop. The D stands for Denver, which is where this penny was minted, and normally these guys are as common as bad hair days, but one special batch came out a little different. We're talking about off-center strikes, double dies, and even some copper planchet anomalies. Now that may sound like a lot of boring coin nerd talk, but trust me, this is where the magic happens. Those minting errors are like typos on a dollar bill. Rare, unintentional, and super valuable to collectors. Let me paint a picture. Imagine a guy working the penny press at the Denver Mint in 1993, maybe had one too many cups of coffee or was daydreaming about nachos, and oops, the press misfires. A few coins come out a little wonky, not exactly what the mint was going for, but collectors years later lose their minds over them. That's how we get to $1.6 million. Now, not every 1993 D penny is worth that much. Let's not get carried away. You need to look for very specific things like doubling in the lettering or date, the penny being struck off center, or even errors with the metal used. Here's where the real detective work comes in. Get a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom and look for details. Lincoln's ear looking extra thick, weird spacing between letters, a floating roof on the Lincoln Memorial. Yes, it's a thing. These signs are What can turn your 1 cent coin into a life? Changing check. Let me tell you about the time I almost lost a valuable penny. I was at the laundromat years ago, had a pocket full of change, and I was feeding coins into the soda machine. I popped one and thought it looked a little odd, but figured, hey, penny's a penny. 10 minutes later I saw a YouTube video just like this one and realized that same penny might have been a rare die error worth a couple grand. I nearly cried into my Dr. Pepper. Now let's talk market value right now. As of this year, one of those rare 1993 D Lincoln pennies went for $1.6 million at auction. That's not a typo, and if yours is in great condition, maybe even uncirculated or graded by a pro coin service like PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at a serious payday. Imagine turning a penny into your dream vacation, your student loan payment, your retirement fund, heck, even a really cool pizza party if you're into that kind of thing. So what's the takeaway from all this? Well, don't underestimate the power of pocket change, especially if it's a 1993 D Lincoln penny with some weird quirks. It's like finding treasure where you least expect it, and the best part is you don't need to be a coin expert. You just need to know what to look for and be willing to take a few extra seconds before tossing your change into a tip jar or vending machine. If you've got an old jar of coins at home, now is the time to check it. Who knows, maybe you've already touched $1 million penny and didn't even realize it. And hey, if you found this video helpful, entertaining, or even just mildly amusing, give it a like, tap that subscribe button, and join the Coin Squad. We're all about finding the hidden gems in your pocket, and I've got way more tips coming your way on coins worth big money and how to tell if yours are special. Hey coin hunters, welcome back to the channel where your pocket change might just make you rich. Today we're diving into one of the craziest coin stories out there, a plain old 1988 penny with no mint mark that's worth not one, not two, but $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard me right, $1.7 million for a coin you probably flipped into a fountain and made a wish with. Now, before you go tearing up your couch cushions and digging through your car's cup holders, stay with me because we're gonna break down exactly why this little copper beauty is making headlines, the secret behind its value, how to spot one, and of course I'll be sharing a funny little story about how I almost threw away a small fortune without even realizing it. So grab your favorite drink, kick back, and let's talk money history and how 1 cent became $1 million miracle. Let's start with the basics. The 1988 Lincoln penny was supposed to be just another everyday coin. It's got good old Honest Abe on the front, chilling like he always does, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, looking all official. Nothing fancy, right? Well, wrong, very wrong. Most of these pennies were minted either in Philadelphia or Denver, and normally you'd see a little letter under the date indicating where it was minted, a P for Philly or a D for Denver. But the rare superstar we're talking about today has no mint mark at all. Zilch, nada. That missing mark is the golden ticket. Now here's the wild part, it's not just the missing mint mark that makes this coin valuable, it's what's hiding in the details. See, in 1988 the US Mint was transitioning between two different designs for the reverse side of the penny, specifically the little letters in the word America. Yep, we're talking about the spacing between the A and the M. They used a reverse die meant for a different year, resulting in what collectors call the wide AM variety. So if your 1988 penny has no mint mark and it has the wide AM spacing, you might be holding something that collectors are willing to pay serious stacks for. We're talking multiple auctions listing this coin in pristine condition for over $1 million, and just recently one sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Let me say that again for the people in the back, $1.7 million for a penny. Now this is where my dumb luck story comes in. A couple years back I was going through an old piggy bank, you know, the kind that looks like a cartoon pig with a coin slot on top. I had it since middle school and figured I'd cash in the coins for some fast food. I'm rolling through the pennies thinking, man, why are these things always so sticky? When I see this weird 1988 penny with no mint mark, tossed it in the reject pile cause I thought it was defective. I kid you not, I literally said out loud, well, this one's broken. Fast forward to me learning about the wide AM variety. I go back to check the pile, it's gone. My niece apparently used them in a school project and glued them onto a science fair poster about gravity. So yeah, gravity pulled my $1 million penny right out of my life. Still hurts, still salty, but that brings us to you. How do you know if you have this magic coin? Well, first check the date, 1988, got it, great. Now look under the date, is there a mint mark? If there's a little D or P, sorry, not the jackpot, but if it's missing, flip that coin over and look real close at the word America. If the A and the M are spaced apart instead of squished together, congratulations, you might be in business. Condition matters too. If the coin is scratched up or looks like it went through a garbage disposal, it probably won't fetch that 7-figure price, but even in lower grades it can still be worth a few hundred or $1,000. Not too shabby for something you got as change for a candy bar. Coin collectors love weird errors, and this one's a beauty because it's not supposed to exist. The mint basically goofed and mixed up the dies used for different years, which is like baking chocolate chip cookies and accidentally using peanut butter chips instead. Except these cookies are worth enough to buy a mansion and a yacht and maybe a private island. And if you're wondering how many are out there, the answer is nobody really knows. That's what makes the hunt so exciting. It could be an A Drawer at your grandma's house, it could be under your car seat, it could be in your tip jar from last night's shift at the diner. So check those coins, folks. You never know when a simple penny could turn into a life-changing payday. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the scoop on the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.7 million. Crazy, right? Just goes to show you it pays to look a little closer at the change jingling around in your pocket. And hey, even if you don't find this specific coin, there are tons of other rare pennies out there worth big bucks, and I'm here to help you spot them. Also, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos where we uncover hidden coin treasures and money-making strategies. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or even if you've got a funny story like mine about losing one. I want to hear all about it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting, keep smiling, and remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest value. Hey there, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and that one person who just found a penny under their couch and is now thinking they're rich. Welcome back to the channel. So picture this: you're walking down the street minding your business, maybe sipping a coffee from that one place that always gets your name wrong. You look down and bam, there it is, a penny just chilling on the sidewalk. Now normally you'd shrug, maybe pick it up, maybe not, but what if I told you that little coppery coin could be worth up to $18 million? Yeah, you heard me, a penny, a single cent, worth more than a mansion in Malibu. Today we're diving deep into the mysterious case of the 1994 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's causing collectors everywhere to lose their minds and maybe even their wallets. So grab your coffee, your magnifying glass, and if you're like me, a pair of glasses, because these eyes aren't what they used to be, and let's get into it. Alright, so let's break this down. What exactly is the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and why is it turning so many heads in the coin collecting world? First up, no-mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. Philly doesn't stamp their coins with a letter like the D you'd see for Denver or S for San Francisco, so don't freak out thinking your penny is a misprint just because it doesn't have a little letter under the date. That part is normal, but here's where it gets spicy. The one that sold for a jaw-dropping $18 million was anything but normal. We're talking about a super rare error coin with extremely unique features. Like what, you ask? Well, this penny was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard zinc-coated copper that was used in the 90s. That alone makes it rare, but wait, there's more. The detail on Lincoln's face was unusually sharp, like you could practically see the wrinkles in his beard. The edges were unusually crisp, and the overall strike looked like the mint employee that day had their Wheaties and decided to make a masterpiece. Now listen, I've seen a lot of pennies in my day, more than I care to admit. Honestly, I've probably dropped a few in my couch over the years, but I'll never forget the time I almost threw one just like this into a coin jar at the gas station. True story, I was short 50 cents for gas. I dumped my cup holder coins into the kiosk, and this shiny 1994 penny caught my eye for like a second, but then I thought, man, it's just a penny. It wasn't until months later that I heard about the one that sold for over $1 million, and let me tell you, I have never forgiven myself since. Now let's talk value, because I know that's what you're really here for. The most pristine version of this penny sold at auction for a staggering $18 million. That's not a typo, $18 million. That's a lifetime supply of tacos or two, depending on how many you eat, and even if your coin isn't that exact one. Other 1994 no-mint mark pennies with unique errors or in mint state condition have sold for thousands, even tens of thousands. So how can you tell if yours is worth something? First, check for errors like off-center strikes, double dies, or odd color tones. If the penny looks weird in any way, in a good way, hold on to it. Second condition is everything. A shiny uncirculated coin with no scratches or dirt could be worth way more than one that's been run over by a shopping cart. Third, get it appraised. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it in to a grading company like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, it's worth the investment. If you're sitting on something this special now, I get it, you're probably looking through your change jar right now. You're pulling open that old sock drawer thinking, did I ever see a 1994 penny in there? And hey, maybe you did. Maybe you've got a little fortune hiding in plain sight, because coins like this one have a way of showing up in the most random places. A yard sale, a jar in grandma's kitchen, the time you paid exact change at the vending machine, and your Twix didn't even drop. Yeah, that coin might have been $1 million one, and now it's in a soda machine somewhere in Kansas. So what's the takeaway here, my fellow coin crusaders? First, never underestimate the power of a penny. Seriously, 1 cent could be $1 million richer if you just pay attention to the details. Second, keep learning. The more you know about rare coins, the better chance you have of spotting a valuable one in the wild. And third, this one's important: subscribe to the channel, because every week I'm bringing you the inside scoop on coins worth serious money, including tips, tricks, and stories that'll make you rethink every piece of change you've ever touched. If you enjoyed this video, or if you've got your own story about finding or missing out on a valuable coin, drop it in the comments. I read them all, and sometimes I even cry with you. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Good luck on your treasure hunt, and may the coin gods bless you with a shiny 1994 no-mint mark penny worth millions. Catch you in the next one. And hey, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss your next chance to find a fortune in your pocket.